Beyond All Reason is a fun and free real-time strategy game with lots of powerful mechanics and hotkeys. In this guide, I'll explain things I wish I knew about the commander, selecting and using units, building tips, and more. Here's what you need to know to unlock the commander's potential while keeping it safe from harm. Press tab to select your commander. It has much better build power than your tier 1 constructors, so have it help build buildings or units in the early game. It also has its own radar range and attacks both land and air, making it helpful in dealing with small armies. Should you be in danger, you can toggle cloak by pressing K. Standing still like this costs 100 energy per second, but moving will drain 1,000 per second. Be aware that cloaked units still appear on the radar. Attacking or getting too close to the enemy, as well as intrusion countermeasure system buildings, will reveal you. The commander also has the D gun. Press D and get a short-range attack, which costs 500 energy per shot. It can kill anything in one hit. In a pinch, you might be able to cloak and position the commander in range of a threatening T3 unit to D-gun it down. Finally, losing all commanders on a team loses the game. However, if you're on a team, you might consider initiating self-destruct sequence, Control plus B, which creates a massive explosion but also leaves behind wreckage. It's the only unit that leaves wreckage when self-destructing. There's some strategy to doing this on a team to feed a ton of metal to tech up fast. Here's some helpful tips and reminders when building. Press Ctrl plus Tab to cycle through your idle workers. Construction units can one-click things like metal extractors and geothermal power plants. Just right-click on the resource spot and upgrade these buildings the same way. If you want to use wind energy, hover over the wind icon at the top of the screen to see if it's a viable option on this map. You can rotate building placements with the square bracket keys. Build in a line by holding Shift, or press Shift plus Alt to make a grid. While doing this, you can press Z or X to increase or reduce the space between buildings. Queue up lots of actions by holding Shift when making commands. If you want to insert an action in the middle of a long string, hold spacebar to add it to the front of the queue, and you can press N to skip an action in the queue. Finally, if you're building groups of units, you can send a new unit to the front of the queue by pressing Alt plus left click. If you want to have a factory building units over and over, press T to turn repeat on. Pressing Alt plus left click in this state will add a unit to be built next and then remove it from the queue after that. Here's some helpful tips to make selecting and using units in bar easier. Double-click a unit or select units and press Q to select all the units of that type in view. If you want to do this across the map without zooming out, select the units you want and press Ctrl W. You can also select units and press Alt plus a number to automatically auto-assign all current and future produced units of that type to that control group. With an army selected, click and drag in a line to place units. Pressing Alt plus right click slightly spreads the units out, helping you avoid splash damage. If you want to walk your units in formation and move only as fast as the slowest unit in the selection, try Control plus right click. Another important hotkey is using F when you're clicking your units around. This will make them stop and attack when in range. Great for units that you don't want to be too close to the enemy. If there's a group of targets but you want to focus down one, press S and click on something to make it a preferred target when in weapons range, and press G to stop all actions. Units do increased damage when hitting enemies from behind. Here's a graphic to help with this. If the last hit was in the front, attacking further and further all the way to the opposite side will increase damage, and this works in 3D space, meaning air units attacking alongside ground will benefit from this buff as well. Lots of actions like reclaim, repair, resurrect, attack can all be set to an area by clicking and dragging. And finally, you can draw on the map for strategic planning using the tilde. Press tilde plus left mouse to draw, tilde plus right mouse to erase, and tilde plus middle click to ping. Now for some general tips I wish I knew when I started playing Beyond All Reason. When you hear an alert, press F5 to go to it. Relying on one unit type can leave you vulnerable. It's helpful to have fast-moving units to run ahead and provide sight for long-range ones, and the fast units can surround enemies, helping with extra damage from multiple angles buff. Notice the symbol in the top left of the unit build icon? The pink triangle means it attacks air, red means it attacks land, and blue means it can attack underwater. Bots can traverse terrain more easily easily than vehicles, with the exception of amphibious vehicles, which can also get around tough terrain. Not only can hovercrafts travel over water and land, but they can't be attacked by underwater weapons, such as torpedoes. Higher unit ranks reduces reload time and increases health. All lasers do 50% damage at max range and increase up to 100% damage when up close. Reclaim metal or use resurrection bots when there's wreckage near you, or shoot and degrade it so that the enemy can't do the same. Once you've started upgrading to higher tier power buildings and energy converters, you can recycle older, less efficient buildings to boost your metal as you tech up. Radar towers rely on line of sight. Try building them on high ground for max visibility. Speaking of high ground, both range and accuracy are boosted for many attacks when shooting from up here. When using bombers, try pressing A plus right click and drag to set a larger area for them to drop their payload. This prevents them from dropping all their devastating attack on one spot. Self-destruct does damage in an area and leaves behind no metal for reclamation, but don't forget that buildings can self-destruct too. Picture this, a lone metal extractor being killed by a measly scout. Select the extractor and press Ctrl B to take the scout out with it, and note that EMPs will pause a self-destruct cooldown, giving you time to make space and save your army. Finally, targeting facilities improve aim when firing beyond vision, but the benefit gets smaller after each one. For this reason, an entire team only needs a max of 3 buildings. Like and subscribe if you like my easy guides, and check out some of my quick reviews that don't waste your time.